Hello everyone, and welcome. Another beautiful sunshiny day on the West Coast. And I just wanted to say thanks for all of the really supportive comments around 10 weeks of TED and how much you guys enjoyed it and what you took from it. And yeah, it was really, for me, it was really fun. I mean, I love the show, obviously, and it was just great to sort of dig into some of the meanings and values and lessons that were right there on offer. So I'm going to keep that going, but not under TED. I'm going to use our company name, Your Mindset, as the foundation of the next sort of series, if you will. I'm going to call it Your Mindset Matters, and sort of a double meaning, as in Your Mindset Matters, because it does, and also just staying in the lane of mindset and matters around that. So so if that intrigues you, stay tuned, and we'll continue to explore ideas and coaching that comes up. So whether it's business or sport or education, management, leadership, we'll talk about it. Okay. So the first one, Your Mindset Matters, episode 1. It's about a coaching call, a group coaching call that we were on a week ago, and wow, this gravel's really loud. Let me get over here. And there was a young fellow on there, American college kid. He was a baseball player, and he wanted to get better at batting, right? He wanted to have more confidence when he stepped inside the batter's box. And because in his words, he wanted to be able to crush the pitcher. And okay, fair enough. I'm not a fan of that term, but I get it. It's what he knows. It's what he's grown up with. It's likely how he's been coached or what he's been coached. And that's fair. So I don't know a ton about baseball. So I asked him, I'm curious about the relationship or the word that you used around what you want to do to that pitcher. You want to crush the pitcher. Can you say a little bit more about that? And he said, well, that's my job. It's to get in there and crush the ball and outsmart the pitcher, crush the pitcher. And I said, okay, fair. So if you're hitting a ball off a tee ball, like off a platform, or hitting a ball that's being pitched to you, which one can go further? And he said, a pitch, a lot further, right? And I said, okay, fair. So then what you're saying is that you are reliant on the pitcher in order to crush them. Right? So it's a relationship. You and the pitcher combined, you create a hit. And the opposite of that is true. Combined, you might get struck out. And he said, yeah, true. And I said, so what would it be like to change the relationship, the way you hold the pitcher? What if you saw the pitcher as an integral part of your ability to crush it, right? So that you were working together. You had a synergistic relationship as opposed to a combative relationship, right? You held the pitcher as a team member, if you will, in your pursuit of trying to hit the ball, as opposed to an adversary, right? An enemy that you're trying to crush. He didn't know what to say, because my guess is it was a little too far off what he's spent his entire youth and now years in university living and expressing. So okay, totally fair. And so I asked him, what do you think what that might be like, and what would you have to be in order to do that? And where the conversation got to, what we essentially explored was that in order to adapt that sort of mindset where you were working with the pitcher instead of against the pitcher, you'd have to be curious, right? Curious as to what was possible in that relationship. And of course, anytime you're curious, there has to be humility that comes with that package, right? You can't be curious without a dose of humility, because you have to be able to admit, I don't know everything, and I'm open to learning something, and I'm going to try and learn from that pitcher. So if that's the relationship, if you see the pitcher as perhaps your teacher, if you will, that you're up there trying to learn their pitches, and then eventually picking the moment, choosing the moment when that pitcher has offered you the perfect pitch and you swing and hit a home run, that's That's a different way of seeing it, right? That's a different way of holding it. And it requires less energy, right? You're not focused on your competitor, you're focused on you and controlling what you can based on what the pitcher gives you. Now, this isn't just about baseball, right? It's not just about some university kid trying to crush baseball pitches. This is about life. This is about business. This is about leadership, parenting, coaching, teaching, you name it. It's about relationships where we are in competition. And why that's important is because if you're an entrepreneur, for example, and you have a distinct competitor and you want to be better than that competitor, if you spend your days fretting about your competitor and how good they are and they do this to you and they do this to to other competitors, then you create a story where you are the victim in that relationship, right? The competitor, you don't like your competitor because he's always winning or she's always winning. They're always beating you. However, in order to work synergistically with that competitor, you have to adopt a different relationship. You have to be curious, humble, and open to what you might learn from your competitor. I always used to say to the athletes that I coached, it's from your competitor's best performance that you're going to find yours. And when we hold that as the paradigm by which we see our competitors, the relationship changes and our performance changes every time. Right? If there's one regret I have in my rowing career, that's it, right? I wish that I hadn't wasted my time trying to kill my competition. It was wasted energy, it was a distraction, and I don't know, it was just stupid. It was all ego, but that was the flavor of the day, and I fell victim to that, right? I got sucked into that one. But I know better now, and so the coaching that we do, working with clients, is to invite them to do something different, do something better, right? To move on to competing with somebody, not against. So if you're intrigued by that, we'd invite you to give it a shot. Just change the verbiage. I realize it's one word, against versus with, but it changes the relationship, right? And take care of yourselves. We'll see you next week. Okay, bye everyone.